Cup.
Well, just before I get to that, did you not find it interesting, like the bullshit merchants as well? The people who wanted to leave shit teams to become and play for a Super Bowl contender team, such as Max Crosby, such as Garrett as well. Yeah,
just to get a payday, that is, though,
exactly.
Isn't it?
Yeah,
right.
Of course it is bullshit. Must have think we were born yesterday or something.
Well, it must be. In terms, let's use Garrett because he's the only one I have any context for. So they're never going to win the Super Bowl, are they, the Browns? Let's face it. In my lifetime or Callum's.
Nope.
And you say that they've just re-signed Joe Flacco.
Oh, I take it back then.
Now he looks foolish.
and Garrett is a superstar, isn't he? By any stretch of the imagination,
absolutely.
So you can totally understand him. To be honest, if I'm being really honest, I think the decision to stay with the Browns, even for probably $1 trillion, billion pounds, dollars, whatever, I think I can't get my head over that, where he could have gone to a team, anybody else that's got a better chance than the Browns. So,
and still get paid.
And still get paid, more than the going rate.
Yeah.
Probably would have, he would have done very well.
What's that saying, Callum? Got to feed the kids somehow.
Yeah.
I find it really puzzling that, specifically talking about the Browns, that any amount of money would be sufficient there. I think that's really... I can't get my head around it.
One thing I did like that come out of the Browns... it was the admission of the completely fucked up with Deshaun Watson, and said that was the biggest mistake ever. To bear with them, and they're going to put it right. And in the next 2-3 seasons, you'll see a new Cleveland Browns. So maybe that was enough.
Which is already bullshit, though, because they restructured Watson's contract, which means instead of them being rid of him in 2 years' time, they're now paying for him until 2030.
So I missed what you said. What was the comment and who said it?
It was the Browns owner.
Basically saying we fucked up.
They fucked up with getting Deshaun Watson. He said, we've got to take a punt. We went for a big time quarterback. At the time, he was big news. It was the biggest mistake they've done, the most costliest mistake they've ever done, and they're going to rectify that, apparently. So stick with us.
He's come out and said that in public. Right, okay.
So Garrett's probably sat down there. He goes, I'll tell you what, he's probably right, That makes me want to sit round the table and stay at the Browns. It's exciting times. With the league's most extravagant helmet, that orange design.
And his trillion.
I thought you were about Deshaun Watson again.
Who else have I got? I've got Raiders, Texans, 49ers, Steelers.
Hey, I get your pick of defensive ends to choose from.
Or a centre.
Someone who's watched the Steelers draft too often just goes, yeah. Actually, I don't. We may come on to it later, but I don't think we're going to choose a defensive player.
I still don't know you're going to go for a quarterback next season. Yeah.
It's sufficient.
I don't know who's going to be our starting quarterback next year, but I've got a feeling we're going to draft one.
Yeah, they've all got you drafted one now. Whatever pick. But I don't think Shador drops anymore. With Derek Carr getting injured.
Yeah.
Oh, you seen that? He got injured. His outfit, his arm's gone. He's made a new YouTube channel reviewing cars. They're not happy about that.
What? Derek Carr's reviewing cars?
Yeah.
That's phenomenal. Oh, wow.
Nominative determinism.
Who was the Steelers player that got paralysed?
Oh, Shazia.
Shazia, yeah, that's right.
Who's there?
She was a first-round pick for you as well.
He was a great player. Great player. Some would say we still haven't replaced him. All right, then. So, free agency. What's happened in free agency? I know what hasn't happened in free agency, which is the Steelers getting a quarterback. But I'm kind of relieved in most cases there, because the ones we were getting linked with, which was an extension for Russell Wilson, Kirk Cousins, which still might happen, Rodgers, which still might happen. None of them have yet, though. So
hasn't one of yours gone to the Giants?
One of ours,
yeah. Didn't
Do you mean Russell Wilson?
Is that who's gone to the Giants?
He was never one of ours, but yes,
Well,
he's
you
at the
know what I mean.
Giants this year.
Right, okay.
And
Is
I
that,
just
is
want
that
to
a
go
good
back.
deal?
Jameis Winston.
I just want to go back on what you said there with the free agency and quarterback. I thought that Mason Rudolph's come back to you.
I mean, he
The
just went on
Titans.
loan for a season. That's all that's
Okay.
happened there.
So it's a 2-year,
He's come-
$8 million deal.
He's come back to his spiritual home. Josh Johnson's probably on $4 million a year, though, isn't he?
God, that guy.
In terms of your-
scholar living.
Your two teams, then. So, in terms of exits and entrances, who's been the biggest? So, Wilson's gone to the Giants.
Yeah, but he technically was. He was on a Bosman essentially.
Right. Okay. Anyone else of any note?
No, not really. Justin Fields has gone to the Jets, but again, it was a similar situation where technically out of contract. So I don't think we've really lost anyone.
Oh, so Wilson and Fields have gone. So you are quarterbackless.
No,
we've got Mason Rudolph.
Yeah, so you're quarterbackless.
Yeah.
It's a step up from Russell Wilson. Put it that way.
But you've made some good moves, I thought, in the free agency, though. I do like DK Metcalf. I do like him a lot, but if you've got no one to throw into,
there's free agency and there's possibly overpaying for a wide receiver.
Yeah.
Albeit a really good one. But who the fuck's going to throw it to him?
Metcalf from Seattle.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. That he was supposed to be good, but didn't really do much last year, did he?
He wasn't great last year. He was injured for a while, and
I like him. One of my favourite wide
never really
receivers.
got back. He's a really good wide receiver when he's
you really wanted him
on
at
his game,
Washington,
mate.
didn't you?
I did want him at Washington instead of Debo. Yeah.
Has he
I
always
was
been?
against.
Has he always been at Seattle, or where was he before?
No, Seattle drafted him, I think, didn't they?
Yeah, he
Right,
did.
okay.
Yeah, he did. How do you feel at Seattle? Not Seattle, because that'd be the wrong straight away. At the Steelers, getting Darius Slay, 34 years old now.
He's a cornerback, isn't he?
Yes.
Well, the weird thing is with the news that came out yesterday about the Dolphins, suddenly a better corner option may be available,
Yeah.
and there'll be a lot of takers. So apparently, it also fits into the Steelers' stinginess. Is that I think it's only going to cost us $1.5 million next year.
Do you know, you laugh at that when you say stinginess, but I do find that Steelers must be, what's the word I'm looking for? Bad to watch because you just know it's the same shit every year. Not like we said this, we've gone through the podcast before. Never going to be bad enough to get a top 5 pick, and never been good enough to do anything.
And also, they won't trade up.
No,
they won't. We haven't got a second round pick to use to trade up anyway because of the Metcalf deal. But if we did, we still wouldn't be the sort of team who'd look at, say, a player was available at 12 or something like that. We wouldn't look at moving up 10 places to get a player. We'll go, no, who's the best defensive end available at 21? We'll take them. That's just the way they think.
Yeah. So do you know you've had obviously the same head coach now forever and a day? What about the GM position? Has it been the same GM all the way through as well?
I don't think it has, but it's always been the same owners, family owned, isn't it? It's
same
like
principle, isn't it?
It's like a fucking butcher's shop.
So what? Sorry, I know we're just drifting a little bit. So Edgy, have you managed to keep track of ins and outings of the cards?
When you say have I managed, have I Googled it in the last 3.5 minutes? Yeah. Yes, I have.
Good man.
Yes.
See, I give you time there.
Thank you very much.
This is why we went to Steelers first.
Yes.
Well, ideally, I wanted Washington next, but supposedly a very quiet window, which has had a flurry of activity in the last couple of days. I could basically go off how good this is as to whether I've heard of them.
Yeah.
Hang on, I've lost the thing now. So we've got the backup quarterback in Jacoby Brissett. Where was he?
He's
at?
not a bad backup.
No, he is a good backup. He was at Washington not last season before. Last season was at New England Patriots. He was.
He's had a few starts from the looks of it, and
decent.
Yeah, so the comments seem to be quite sort of favourable around him. Zay Jones as a wide receiver, that he's the sort of player that I always hear a lot about, but never actually see him do much. Would that be fair to say?
Yeah, I think he's just gone on. What is it? A 1 year deal for him?
Yes, 1 year.
I think so. Yeah.
The rest all seem to be sort of, and it definitely needed some work on. So Josh Sweat as a defensive end.
You see, I rated him maybe 2 seasons ago, Josh Sweat, and you've gone for an oldie player as well. I think Calais Campbell. Murat, did he go to Cards? No, not
Don't ask me.
Not Calais Campbell.
I think where he went.
I'm sure he went to the Cards, Calais Campbell, and he must be about 36 now. I might be wrong.
There's another defensive end, Dalvin Tomlinson.
Yeah.
Which is getting sort of a favourable review. Other than that,
I think
Trey McBride on a new deal. I saw that
4-year deal.
Right, that's huge then, isn't it?
Yeah, it's massive. Probably up to the top 5 tight ends.
From what I gather, like obviously Seattle and 49ers, they've made some quite large moves, shall we say, or news headline making moves. Whereas the Cardinals just seem to be going under the radar a little bit, and I don't know whether that's good or bad.
I like the Josh Sweat one. I do like
Yeah,
Josh Sweat.
I don't think we saw
It's
the best
cheap
of
as
him
well.
last year. Yeah, I don't think we've seen the best of him last season, but I do like his productivity. I think he's decent.
Yeah, they did get that Calais Campbell.
Did they
Yeah,
get
I
Calais
did.
Campbell? Yeah.
Yeah.
They must be knocking on now.
It's 38.
38 goals.
About to turn 30 now when the season starts.
Did they go to the same school as Bobby Wagner?
No, he's still decent though. But I think this is last year.
Callum, do you want to go through Washington?
Yeah, I think Washington have made one of the best free agency
think so.
signings.
Yeah,
I do.
I
Josh
thought it was pretty
Johnson.
good.
Brilliant.
Yeah, there we go. That's all you can say.
That's the second best. I was thinking of.
The Josh Johnson. Josh Johnson.
Josh, you
Yeah.
that excited, you can't even
I know,
speak.
yeah. He's gone to Washington.
Yeah, for the 13th time in his career.
I don't think he'll even. I think he'll get cut after like.
I think
a
he'll
couple
get
of weeks.
because what's happened to Hartman?
No, that's what I mean. I think Hartman they just want competition for Hartman and that third spot.
Yeah, but then they'll cut him and they'll sign him again in October.
Yeah, probably.
He'll get another bonus.
Unbelievable, that guy, isn't he? So, yeah, go on, come.
He lives in a solid gold house.
Unbelievable, that guy.
Yeah, so big outings. I don't think outings-wise, I don't think there's anyone left who's important.
Callum, we're not outing anyone on here. All right, just make that clear.
Yeah, apart from we lost Jonathan Allen, but I think he's terrible anyways. And then Vikings paid him like 20 million a year.
Yeah,
so I don't mind that.
Massive. Yeah, he's gone off massively.
But then apart from that, I don't think anyone else has left. But then bringing in, we got Debo and Tunsil.
Tunsil's the one. I think that's
Tunsil's a massive one.
Laramie.
Great signing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a few good draft picks, but for a top 5 left tackle in the league, and he's still got another 4 years left on him.
Look, we had our left tackle, and we had him for a few years in Trent. And before he went to the 49ers, we never, ever replaced Trent Williams at left tackle. Now I think this is the guy.
I was going to go through some of the big names. Joey Bosa to the Bills on a 1-year deal.
Massive,
if he stays fit, that's a great signing. Dolphins, obviously, they've had. It hasn't actually gone through yet that they're losing their best cornerback after improving so much on the defense last year. So we can't say that's official news yet.
Who's that? Dolphins tour?
No.
Oh.
That's what happens if you don't pay attention.
Sorry.
It's so busy Googling Cardinals news.
It was actually Dan Marino.
Right, yeah. About time you hung them up.
Stephon Diggs went to the Pats.
The biggest offer ever.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Cooper Kupp to the Seahawks.
Yeah, I'd be concerned you're going to get more than 6 games out of him.
Yeah,
that's an injury because I'm surprised by how old he was. I thought he'd been around for years. They've won
the Super Bowl in his second year, I think.
Right. Okay.
Won't mind it as much if they had a wide receiver one, but he's going in there as like the main man as well. Even worse.
And he's going to, you can't count on him being fit. So Jets got Justin Fields. DeAndre Hopkins has gone to the Ravens. A team's going to have him every year until he literally drops dead, aren't they, Hopkins? Because they'll just go, well, he can still catch it.
Devante Adams, $46 million deal with the Rams.
Yeah.
Isn't he about 50 as well?
No, it just seemed like that because he's gone through like 4 teams in the last 3 years. Bengals, their big news, I suppose, is signing up Chase and Higgins. They've really got a hit next year, haven't they? Because their window to get the most out of this offense is going to be closing soon.
Have you seen that? It's like, I think it's like 33% or like 40% of their salary caps on those 3 players.
Browns obviously got Joe Flacco and Kenny Pickett in at quarterbacks. So
we're saying that they did release Edge's second favourite quarterback, Dorian Thompson, whatever, Robin Thompson, the guy who can't throw it but can run. I think he went to the Eagles
to replace Kenny Pickett.
Yeah,
obviously.
Yeah.
Steelers, no one of note. Christian Kirk from the Jags to the Texans for a 7th round pick.
I wanted Kirk at Washington.
He flashes Kirk.
Yeah, but that's a hell of a risk worth taking, isn't it? For a 2026 7th.
Yeah, absolutely. Even if you're shit, what if you've lost? Nothing, have you, really? Let's face it.
Nothing, but he has got potential to be a top wide receiver, yeah. Mm-hmm. A quarterback highly rated by someone here has signed for the Indianapolis Colts, Daniel Jones.
Guys, I can't believe you like Daniel Jones. I mean, come on.
Dazzla Edgy. 1 year. Well, it's not 6-7 months later. After your comments about Daniel Jones, what would you like to say? Anything or add to that?
He'll be starting week 6 at Colts.
Yeah.
And then it'll be out by week 8.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
No. Okay.
Dre Greenlaw to the Broncos.
Okay.
If he's fit, great sign.
Fantastic. Yeah, like it.
Chiefs. Gardner Minshew to the Chiefs.
Why not?
Well, because Mahomes might get injured. That's why not.
It's okay as number 2. No more than that.
It's a good number 2.
Yeah. Steady 2.
Raiders obviously picked up Geno Smith.
Yeah, massive. That's a good move for the Raiders, that. I do like that. Because
it's a bit sensible for the Raiders, isn't it?
Yeah, it's stopping the trend of just having backup quarterbacks playing all the time. Yeah. I do like that.
Cowboys, no one cares, do they? The important news from the Giants, Tommy DeVito retained. So they now have Tommy DeVito, Russell Wilson, and Jameis Winston. I'd say the most erratic 3 quarterbacks any team could have. You've got all different kinds of erratic quarterback behaviour between those 3, haven't you?
But you've got that, and you skipped over Cowboys, and quite rightly so, usually. But it's interesting how they've let Trey Lance go to the Chargers and Cooper Rush go to the Ravens, which leaves them short at quarterback.
They got that Joe Milton, what it's called.
At least their starting quarterback isn't coming off a serious injury, so they'll be fine.
True. Very, very true.
And also, they still haven't signed Micah Parsons, and now it's going to cost them even more thanks to the Myles Garrett contract.
Yes. That's how, because my take on Parsons is listen to a couple of his podcasts. He doesn't want to play for anyone else. He wants to remain a Cowboy. But if the Cowboys are offering him, say, like $20 million a year, right, which they won't, they'd have to offer him about 25, I would have thought. And if, say, 49ers or a good team come in and say, look, we can give you 35, he's not going to be a Cowboy.
Like a shot, he'll be gone.
Yeah, but also, whatever he says on his podcast, he can't say anything else on a podcast, can he?
No.
It's not like he can come out and go, I'll go to whoever gives me the most money.
You might as well, because we all know that's what
we all know it's true.
Yeah, it's true, yeah. But so they've gone into the final year of his deal now with nothing signed, which is a very shit position. I mean, it's almost like Jerry Jones is a fucking idiot.
He's a moron. It was like a year ago saying all in.
Yeah. And then they got Schottenheimer. Is it Schottenheimer, the coach, Brian? The new head coach, Brian Schottenheimer.
Don't call me Marty.
Yeah, exactly. I spoke to Brian the other day about this, and Brian was saying, "Do you know what? First we thought it was underwhelming." I said, "Yeah, no, it's still going to be safe, surely." But they reckon that he's well liked and he'll do really well. I think he's just.
They reckon, but in 6 months' time they'll have moved up to Whelming. Eagles signed Saquon on an extension.
Yeah.
Lane Johnson on another contract.
Great player, yeah.
Zach Bowen on another contract.
Another good player.
They've just made some sensible moves, haven't they?
They've lost a couple of players though.
They have, but they'll always going to, I think. But I don't think they've lost anyone to the extent where they're not going to be one of the best teams next year.
No.
The Bears, Joe Tooney, I think that's a hell of a pickup for the Bears.
They're a good off-season Bears. Their line was awful last year. They completely renovated it.
And they got the guy from the Rams as well, Jonah Jackson. So they've got 2 new guards, which is... Anyway, if that's what was holding Caleb back last year, then they've at least tried to sort it, haven't they?
Yeah, I think he was under so much duress last year. He couldn't really. I think he actually did all right with what he had to deal with. Because wide receivers can be as good as they want. If you've got 2 seconds to throw a ball, you're not going to do anything. Especially when you're a rookie and you get into your own head as well. I think it's good.
Yeah, Lions haven't done much, but then they'll just be glad to be getting their players back, won't they, from last year?
No, that was massive. That cost them dearly. That.
Yeah, it was kind of silly at the end. Packers haven't done much. They've got Aaron Banks on a new deal.
I know Edgy said about the Packers last year, and I agreed with Edgy that they're a young up-and-coming team. But I just feel there needs to be something exciting happen to the Packers. They needed a marquee signing, I think.
They somebody could take a bit of flair or something.
Yeah,
they do need exciting.
That. Yeah, they need
that. It always felt that they were building and going underneath the radar, but it's almost as if, I don't know, like they were so preoccupied in building, they haven't really. I don't know. It could be.
No, I'm not agreed. That's exactly what.
It just feels as though it needs a zinger. It needs something. They might prove us all wrong, and they all sort of gel.
We mentioned earlier about DeAndre Hopkins going to Baltimore. He'd be a great pick for someone like the Packers to have a bit of experience in the team.
Yeah,
it seems like they're flying out for that.
I'm just trying to think. Amari Cooper? Is he still available?
Oh no, he's done for that lad.
Well, you brought me.
He's still at the Bills, isn't he?
See.
I think he was on a 1 year, wasn't it? I think he's free agent.
Listed as a free agent. So it brings me on to this question. So there's a couple of sort of people that haven't signed on, so their contract's expired.
Okay.
So what if you're one of these people? Is it a case of you're holding out for the right dollar, or is it a case of you're shit and nobody wants you? If you get to this stage in free agency, what does that mean?
You don't know if they've been offered something and they haven't taken it. That's the one thing here. And also teams see what they might have an eye on a player. If we can't draft this player, we'll sign this free agent.
Yeah.
So there's a bit of a sort of a carousel, isn't it? Right. Well, they haven't signed them, so we're right. Okay.
That's what I think Rodgers is working for.
Yeah.
I could understand it from Rodgers, but there was a lot of play like Amari Cooper was one. Justin Simmons, is he a cornerback or safety? I've heard of him anyway. Kazir White, is he a? No,
he's a corner.
Yeah. So there's obviously some
people there. Yeah. I think if you're a free agent and you are getting to a point where the teams have gone back into practice and they've started the pre-season games, if you're still a free agent, then basically you're done for, because it takes a fair few weeks, months to get back in shape, because they won't have been training with the team. Then to understand that player book that's implemented, so by then they're washed, I think.
That's also the answer as to why teams keep signing Josh Johnson is that he'll know that the team knows the surroundings. Yeah. In his case, he knows where the bodies are buried.
He knows 32 playbooks.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
Just to quickly finish off on these, the Vikings picked up Jordan Mason, I think, who was good last year when he got a chance.
From the 49ers?
Yeah.
Where's he gone to, sorry? The Vikings?
Vikings.
Who was their running back?
Aaron Jones.
Aaron Jones extended as well. But I think after looking at the Lions last year, there's going to be lots of teams looking at having two really good running backs. Not a starter and a backup, but having two who are just going to pound it every single game. And also, can we hear it out? The Panthers quarterback signing Andy Dalton, the red 2-year dealer, as he's known.
He can't believe it.
On a 2-year deal for Andy Dalton.
I can't believe it.
He'll be able to stay in the same house for 2 years.
He's the next bloody Josh Johnson, this guy. Then he signs a 2-year deal. I can't believe that.
2-year deal. It's incredible. And also, ladies and gentlemen, 2-year extension, Tommy Tremble. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen, 2-year deal.
Mr. Tremble.
Tight end, Carolina Panthers. Tommy Tremble.
They need to make a splash, don't they? Panthers, you would have thought.
Yeah, I was going to say, have the Saints done anything? Not really, because they've kind of put all their eggs in the Derek Carr basket, haven't they? Which is... they've got Chase Young on a 3-year deal, but
he's underachieved so much as Chase Young. He was meant to be like the next best thing ever, and he's never done it.
Bucks re-signed Chris Godwin.
Massive. That's a great signing.
Great signing for them. And also Hassan Reddick.
Yeah.
Who can even remember what he's like when he plays?
Not even him.
Rams, Jimmy Garoppolo.
God.
But also Devontae Adams.
Where's he gone? Who's this?
Devontae Adams is now at the Rams. So
okay, fine, fair enough.
Which is a replacement for Cup.
Yeah, I didn't know that. That's not bad signing then.
I think it's good. Well, they got Adams, Nakua.
Yeah. If you get a motivated Adams, it's good. If he starts stropping and doing stuff.
I've just read some very devastating news.
Oh no.
So have the Chargers signed Trey Lance?
Yes. So I think it was the Chargers.
So
it's been shot by Ricky Pearson.
No, Eastern Stick has now moved down in the old the Orb, for people that don't know, has moved down, and he's going to be leaving. And the review here says it's hard to imagine Stick finding another job in the NFL.
You say that, some teams don't have a quarterback.
Oh, can you imagine? Oh, that would be amazing.
Eastern Stick.
I'll tell you what, it'd be more entertaining than having a fucking Russell Wilson there. But there you go. That's free agency covered, and we've
talk about New England with their just gigantic overspending on about 5 players.
Yeah, go on, bring it.
I don't know what they had too much cap and spent money on too many people. Like, that Diggs one's crazy. The guy from Eagles, is it Milton Williams or Milton Wilkins or something like that? This 27 million
on
Milton Bradley.
Yeah, that's it. It spent 27 million a year in DT.
They did need just options on offense, didn't they? Because they didn't really have anything, but their quarterback kind of looked all right with nothing around him. So I don't mind. I don't think the Diggs deal is that bad. Maybe 3 years is the bad bit for it.
It just stops you in the future from getting more players.
He's not the Diggs of old. He's another one. I did as well. I know he was injured.
Milton Williams is a good signing, though.
It's good, but it's just too much money.
They've paid a lot for him, but they've kind of addressed players that they need. They may well have overpaid for them, but they're going to be better this year, the Pats.
But I think you've got to overpay. Listen, you Patriots who've got a tremendous history under Belichick and Brady, and they've got properly gone to shitter, haven't they? And to go there, it's like Man United. Anyone who's going to go to Man United next season is going to go for the money because the team is shit. So you just go for the money. So that's why they've overpaid. You're not going to go to a Patriots team for the same money. You'll go to, well, for less money. Well, you never know.
Players used to go there for less money because they could get a Super Bowl ring.
That was a Patriots way, wasn't it? Yeah.
Fair enough. Okay, so shall we get into draft mode then?
Come on then.
Can I have Bumrah, please?
Mike, is that you?
Yes, can I have Bumrah, please?
Can I have Bumrah, please?
Is he still there? Who's that, Mike? Bumrah? Yes.
Honestly, Edgy, for this draft, I'll say it gets past like pick 6, you just throw a dart and you can pick anyone. Like someone who can go 7 can go like 30. It's just
I always like how it's one team can fuck everything up. Last year it was the Falcons, wasn't it? Selecting Michael Penix Jr. And that just completely fucked up everyone's mock draft.
Who's come up with this NFL mock draft database? Who's come up with these needs?
I believe it's it's based on what all the other ones have done. So it looks at all the mock drafts and stuff on who's taken what in what position and things like that. And it's calculated an order based on that.
The only reason I ask that is because obviously the card's at the top and it says their top need is an edge. Well, we've just signed 2 in free agency. So has that been updated or not?
Maybe they were talking about you, Edgy.
Could be. Yeah, they need
you.
Since you've been released by the Jets and Giants.
Had enough of New York.
No, but okay, so I believe it starts with the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah.
And I think that's me who's got this.
This is like one of the pending ones.
Where's the list, G, on? Because I've managed to get Raiders, Texans, 49ers, Steelers, and I forgot who others were.
Oh, so I can pop this in here, can't I?
Oh.
Yeah, but with this draft, it's like completely different. Last year, it was like you've got 20 really good caliber players. This one, you've got 3 who are actually really good, and that's it. And then the rest are just average, whereas last year was like crazy good. But there's a lot of depth in this one.
I don't know. I think it's the same. I think it's just that last year they were in different positions. So it was a good quarterback draft last year, and it was a good wide receiver draft. Whereas this year they're going, it's a good offensive tackle draft and stuff like that. So
yeah, they're good, but they're not like blue chip. They're not like the elite. What they were coming in like last year. Last year was like a unicorn draft where there was so many good ones.
Special year.
Whereas this one is like there's a lot of yeah. There's like they'll come and be good, but they're not like good.
It's a crapshoot. It always is.
It's a ticket to the lottery.
No, it seems to be universally agreed that the Titans are going to take Cam Ward. Though,
Cam Ward, yeah. I think so.
Even though on those draft boards where they have the players ranked by how good the players are, regardless of position, a lot of them he's not in the top 10.
He's like 20.
Is he the Heisman winner?
No.
The Heisman
Travis Hunter.
Travis Hunter, that's right.
Yeah. And so best player is probably either Abdul Carter or Travis Hunter, isn't it?
Yeah.
But the Titans, being the Titans and having loads of needs other than at quarterback, are going to take Cam Ward.
Yeah,
first.
I think they will. I agree with that.
Like,
I think that's what they'll do.
Going to like last year's one, I think people comparing to like last year's draft, people would put him like QB 4 or 5 in last year's one.
Yeah.
So, but not like much worse than that.
So last year, obviously, were Williams, our guy. See, I'm not saying it, not giving these two fucking idiots the satisfaction.
But he didn't win anything, did he?
Drake May. You think he'd come after that, or
he's like the Bo Nix sort of area, JJ McCarthy.
Okay.
Yeah, but Bo Nix everyone thought he was going to be like an early second rounder. It's just the Michael Penix pick fucked everything up, which meant that the Broncos then had to take him as early as they did.
Yeah. He's no Spencer Rattler.
No, Spencer Rattler's probably going to start this year.
Yeah. Be interesting to watch.
Yeah. Okay, so Callum, you're picking for the Browns.
Yeah. So this one's just a toss-up between Travis Hunter and Abdul Carter.
Can you imagine Carter and Myles Garrett on the same defense? Every snap, just those two.
It would be scary because their defense is. I think their defense is top 5 in league. Their defense is
can
actually
be.
elite.
Well, they're worth a first round draft pick, aren't they? Based on last year's fantasy league.
But it's just a strange one because Travis Hunter wants to play both sides, but he doesn't need to play cornerback for Browns. They've already got 2 good cornerbacks, so he'd be a wide receiver.
How do you think that's going to work out, Callum? Because he's come out on a Travis Hunter and said he doesn't want to play in the NFL.
He said he'll retire or something if he can't play both positions.
Yeah, if he's not going to play both positions, he's just going to retire and never play football again.
Yeah.
So can you risk drafting him?
If he's that good, though, but also, if you're playing both positions, how many snaps can you realistically play?
Yeah, he's no Champ Bailey, I'll tell you that now.
Because he is coming into this draft. He is the best wide receiver in this draft, in my opinion, and he's probably the second best or best cornerback as well.
Yeah.
So it is like...
I did get the impression he was a massive cock.
Yeah. I wouldn't touch him.
But it is a funny one, because once he runs out of his contract, though, if you say he's elite in both, will he want wide receiver and cornerback paying one contract? Like 70...
But also from whoever takes him point of view, they are filling 2 roster spots, aren't they, with one player?
Yeah. But I'd probably go Abdul Karia and just keep their defense.
I also think with Travis Hunter as well, if he doesn't go in top 3, he's onto the agent's head. Just tell him I'll play cornerback. That's all he'll be doing. Tell him I'm happy for a wide receiver.
But I think if you cornerback first, though, I think you can come in and be like you can do routes on wide receiver seems pretty easy. Just coming in, you just run vertical or run slant or do something. But yeah, it all depends where he goes. But I think he can do both.
I agree with Abdul Carter, by the way, going 2.
Yeah, I think so as well. If I was running Titans, I'd take him at 1. I think they've got a lot of holes. They don't need a new quarterback getting beaten up next year.
And that's just the offensive lineman.
Yeah.
Right, we want Edgy for the Giants,
Edgy,
of course.
Back in charge of the Giants.
My exit obviously was a bit sort of well documented, but I'm going to pick for him.
I believe he signed an NDA.
Yes, indeed. I can't discuss it with Vicky Pearsall's lawyers at the moment. But we're going to pick Travis Hunter.
Nice.
Do I have to give reason?
Team needs neither a quarterback or wide receiver, but Travis Hunter.
No, I'd go Travis Hunter as well.
I'm using the bloody website that you sent.
No, but it doesn't matter. Sometimes you just go best player available, don't you?
Yeah.
It says New York Giants. The first they need on that website you sent is a cornerback. So that's what I've gone off.
I didn't make the fucking website. That's just based on what other drafts people have been picking at.
Well, that's what you sent. So.
The reason it says cornerback first is because in lots and lots of mock drafts, Travis Hunter's gone at 3, yeah.
Right.
So, Callum, Travis Hunter, he goes to New York Giants. Okay, so they've got already a good wide receiver, Malik Neighbors, who's their second, I think. Darius Slayton, is it? Yeah. Their corners, they don't have any good corners. They got pissed all over, didn't they? So, yeah.
I think this is where he'd be actually good because he can cornerback first.
Yeah.
I think he's actually worse at cornerback when he is wide receiver, but if he's first, I think he's fine. And then he can just come in and play wide receiver every now and again.
You see, I agree with this. Carter goes to New York Giants and he can fit them playing both sides sparingly. I agree with that as well.
Yeah. I think he's a really good pick there.
Yeah, good pick.
Can we stop agreeing?
Makes
it less entertaining.
The one I'm scared to pick is I don't want them to pick Genti at all. I'm scared if they pick Genti because I think he's more scary because you obviously go against him 30 times. He'll run the ball 30 times a game, and I think he's a generational player.
Edgy, I think it's still with you for the Patriots.
For the Patriots.
Edgy, I think it's you.
It is, mate. And the New England Patriots are going to draft Mason Graham, please.
Fair enough.
Mason Graham. Well, have they gone for a DT there? Interesting.
Because does it not say team needs?
No, that says OT at the top.
Oh, does it?
It says OT. It says OT on both websites.
Right. Okay. Well, I thought it's a DT. So blame that on me lack of glasses.
But yeah, still a good pick.
Also, Mason Graham sounds like he should be in the boring names 11.
Yeah, I agree. Is it 2 first names as well?
Yeah, will be. Yeah.
Fair enough. I've got to say, it wouldn't have been my pick, but Mason Graham goes to the Pats.
I'd have gone for Campbell for the Patriots.
I probably would have done as well. And now I'm picking for the Jags, and I'm fucking furious that Mason Graham's just been taken off the board.
So
That's
who
messed
did
it
you
up, hasn't
pick
it?
for the Patriots? Will Campbell.
I'd have
Right.
got Membu, but it's just peas the
It
same
would have.
pot.
It would have definitely been a OT
Tackle,
anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now Edgy's messed the entire draft up.
Very,
Yeah.
very
I think
everything.
every mock draft of
can't
Mason
believe
Graham
it.
going to the Jaguars.
But, right.
Right. Okay.
Not this one.
with,
Yes,
with Mason Graham going, I reckon if that happened, I think the Jags would try and trade down a bit. But we're not doing that in here, and so I'm going to take Tyler Warren.
Yep, that's what I'd have done if this happens. Yeah, I think it's a good pick.
To be fair, Edge is the man in the know. He's been around a few teams in NFL. He knows the game.
Yeah, just laugh it off, bitches. You watch.
He's super
Guys,
good as Tyler Warren.
You're picking for the Raiders.
Well, this is where Callum, you're absolutely right. This is where I think he goes. I think he goes to the Raiders. Does that, Genty?
I think he does
I
as
like
well.
it. He's so good.
Yeah, I think he goes to the Raiders. You've got Geno Smith also, and you've got Geno Smith. You've got Ashton Genty. But straight away, you've got two good offensive weapons there, which is two more than last season.
Yeah, it's just something to actually get your franchise like excited for a year.
Yeah, exactly. Jets, not edgy.
No, Jets is Cal.
Oh God, I don't know about this.
In fact, you've got the next two. You've got the Jets.
See, this
and
is
the
where
Panthers.
this is where Edgy's actually messed me up because this is where Tyler Warren was
Edgy.
going.
Don't blame me.
Oh, who do I go here?
But also the Jets are more than capable of fucking this up themselves. So
Will
it's fine.
Campbell,
Yeah,
Membu.
I go Membu here.
Yeah.
And put
So
him
I
to right
don't mess
tackle.
up. I don't pick now until 16. So Philly Boots fans.
'Cause I think Membu is the better tackle out of the two because Campbell's little arms scare most people, I think.
His nickname's T-Rex in
Jordan Pickford.
But Will Campbell is, yeah, I like Membu here because he got the other guy last year as well. I think their line's pretty good. Hopefully, Fields might be able to do something.
This surprises me now for the Panthers when it says team needs CB or CS. I would have just thought that said every position.
Well,
And also this one.
you say that they've got Dolto.
Yeah, and they keep him with is it Bryce?
Yeah,
They
Bryce,
keep him.
Yeah, he played very well second
He
half of
did.
the season.
So they forget about Sanders going there, but still, Will Johnson will be a good.
So I don't know
pick
why
there.
he says cornerback first because they got Joe Horn as well. He's a good cornerback.
Yeah, are they going to do a double lock?
So yeah, who's got this pick?
you have,
Or me?
yeah.
But
Yeah.
I'll go here. I'll go something completely what's not even on the board. Like
Oh,
I'm going Jalen Walker, and it's
He's not even-
Frankie
that was
Levy
12.
replacement.
linebacker, interesting.
He's not a linebacker. He's a glorified edge rusher at linebacker.
Okay.
Yeah, he'll just run it.
To be fair, Panthers need whoever.
Yeah,
so-
I think he's good. He's basically Frankie Levy, basically.
Well, you see, if he's playing edge, and you said he's in one of those edge rushers, he needs to be a bit quicker than a Walker.
Unbelievable.
Saints.
Now, Saints, I've got the Saints.
You do.
A couple of days ago, I probably wouldn't have chosen this player, but I think they might draft a quarterback.
It's
And
a
if
gamble, I think, that because they've already got a rookie from last year. Will they go rookie again?
Well, maybe, but the rookie they got last year isn't very good, and we've all seen it. Freezer or no Freezer, he's not a good quarterback.
Free's a jolly good fellow, though.
Fuck's sake. I think it probably would have been Will Johnson, but I think they might draft a quarterback, and so I think Sanders is going to go off the board at 9.
I disagree.
I think I like this pick. If I had Saints, I'd have done the same thing. Because if he doesn't get picked here, he's flying so far down this board. It's like I think he's going all the way down to Steelers.
Well, that's what I thought as well. I thought until the Carr injury thing, because Carr's not going to play next year. And
Yep.
so if they've got Spencer Rattler, and that's your quarterback, I reckon
Sounds great.
it makes sense for them to. If you're at 9 and you've got a pretty highly rated quarterback at 9, I think you take it.
He's the most NFL ready quarterback. He's not
That's
got the
what a lot of
highest.
people
He's not
think.
got the highest ceiling, but
And also,
Right
one thing everyone like in the pros about Sanders, they all say the same thing, which is accuracy with his passing.
yeah,
And if you can bring in an accurate passer from day one, then that's
yeah. As long as they know what he is and they just play, because Saints I think do a lot of like slants and short routes. If you just do that all day long, he's a good quarterback. But if you want him to throw 40-yard bombs, 50-yard bombs, he's not that guy. But yeah,
I
if you keep
don't,
him
I don't know
underneath-
if the Saints know what sort of team they are.
Yeah.
Anyway, Daz, your
Yeah.
Chicago
Yeah,
Bears.
definitely. Well, you've got to protect him, haven't you? So you've got to go Will Campbell.
That'd be a result for the Bears, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
They definitely need O-line. He's perfect.
'Cause even if he doesn't work as a tackle, he'd be a really good guard.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
No matter what, you get
Yeah.
a good play,
Push
even if
him
it doesn't work
inside
out.
there. Yep.
Yeah.
And it's me again, I think, because I've got the 49ers. 49ers, interesting 49ers, because we all thought last season, I think me and you, G, picked them for the Super Bowl winners. It's
Fucking idiots.
yeah. I know they're injury prone, but even when they got the players back, they still looked a little bit dodgy at times, and they got beat off some really crap teams as well. I've got to go Will Johnson here. I think.
Oh, you go Will
start-
Johnson.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think they'll start at the defensive backfield.
I'd have gone for the other corner. I've got his name now. What's
Who's that?
Barron.
Barron, yeah, I'd have gone Barron.
And Daz again.
It's me for the
Dallas
Dolphins.
Cowboys.
So, well, for the Cowboys. So I would think they will go for
Worst punter.
yeah,
Jeremy Crawshaw.
Jeremy Crapshoot. Oh no, what's he called? Alex Mastromano. What a great name. Where would you go for the Dallas Cowboys? Well, interesting enough, they've like the other two quarterback goals, but I don't think there's any other quarterbacks that are.
They did sign a quarterback. They did trade for one. They got that Joe Milton from Patriots.
Oh, God.
He's not the best. Yeah, they gave a 5th-round pick for him and got a 7th back.
Okay, so what we're looking for here, Edge. They'll probably go for Shema Stewart.
Oh, this is the guy you hate. He got no product. He's the one who's like athletic freak, but he got like 1 or 2 sacks the whole year.
Yeah, Shamar Stewart. Yeah, Texas A&M.
Daz again for the Dolphins.
It's
Who
me again.
may well suddenly need a cornerback.
Well, yeah, that is a fair point, isn't it? But I think they have to go best place. I don't think they can start fishing. Offensive line's massive for them. You see, they've got Banks Jr. there.
Banks got to guard.
Could do. They need a guard. They need a tackle. Get him. They can go either. So I think they go for Kelvin.
I mean, there's no best player available here. Like literally every single player is the same.
Yeah.
Like
Colston Loveland.
Just
that's
to
a great
confirm,
name.
Kelvin Banks, is that OT or DT?
OT.
OT. Cal, it's yours for the Colts.
Can I have a go?
Nearly.
You're 2 away.
And
You have to pick for your own team.
I know,
you
but
get 3 out of 4 picks
all
coming
the
up.
players I was going to go with have gone now.
I think here it'd either be T-Max. I think he'd actually work well with Terrell McMillan, with Anthony Richardson just throwing the ball up in the air and telling someone to go grab. But I think
he can.
no, I don't think he'll last though.
No.
I think I got Colston Loveland. I think he's a good tight end, and they need a tight end.
A great name as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Colston.
It sounds like a shit theme park.
Colston Pickles.
But he's a good tight end. He can do everything. He'll start in line and stuff.
Falcons. Well, based on last year, this could be fucking anyone, couldn't it?
Yeah.
One thing they don't need is wide receivers.
Choice between Green and Harmon, I think. Yeah,
I think
and
it
even
is.
Starks. You've got 4 of there.
You could take your pick there, can't you?
Lindsay,
It's
yeah.
going to be one of those 3. Let's go with Derek Harmon.
Edgy, you've got 3 out of the next 4.
Right, okay. Here's where it all goes off.
This is the Cards' time to shine.
Yeah. I feel as though I should really go with Mike Green because it's a boring name. And that's
He's not a boring person. He's got like I think 2 sexual assault cases pending or
Has
something.
he?
Like that.
That's,
Well,
that's the minimum requirement to get to the NFL, though.
so
isn't
he's
it?
going to the Browns then.
No, they'll get to the Chiefs.
Right, yeah.
But they're still waiting for a statement off his dog.
Michael Williams. What's he like?
Is it Mickle? Is it Michael?
He's just a
Michael.
big edge rusher.
Michael.
Three.
Can sort of do everything.
Let's go with Michael Williams.
17. Edgy, it's you again.
Yeah.
Bengals.
Right, defense. Just from defense. Let's get some defense in there.
Yeah.
Uh,
Of course, they've like I think they've let go of the defensive tackle, defensive coordinator at last.
Really? Wonder why?
Yeah.
right. So here's a question then. So if this Mike Green has supposedly got
No, it's just like it never went through though. So it's like just sort of on his
he's going to
background
be in the.
check.
He's going to be in the draft.
Yeah.
It'll be
He's very good.
Would it affect his stock at all?
It'll drop him down a bit. I think he would have been like a top 10 pick if he didn't have this.
I think it
I
already
he was a good
has.
pick. Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's go with him to the Bengals then.
Well, Mike Green
Yeah.
and Daz
Seahawks.
with their weird approach to the next season.
Well, it's a rebuild, isn't it? They've got rid of Metcalf. I think they're going to bring in Tetriani, McMillan.
I think it's a good pick for them.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Got Cop in, someone to
Come in when he's injured after the second week.
When he's injured, yeah.
Mac.
And Edgy.
Buckaroo.
Is the Tampa Bay Glazers the Glazers?
Yeah.
Right, let's send Jihad to the Glazers then.
But they Jihad Campbell.
Yeah.
You're never taking a safety this high up in the draft as well.
Yeah, I thought that. Yeah. Well, yeah, definitely. Well done, Colin.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, G's just making sure he's still streaming on Twitch.
Oh, believe me, I've had fucking worse on this, haven't I? I've still got all the completed files. If I have any blackmail material,
Broncos, that goes to G.
Broncos need a running back, need a wide receiver. They'll take Golden if he's there.
Yeah, I think so. He's really good.
Steelios.
There's been some crazy stuff. This pick has been the most random pick of all time, I think. I've seen Dart come in. I've randomly seen
Dart's his stock is going through the roof, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's always one who quarterback.
But the other one's come up as well.
From nowhere.
That Jalen Milrose is coming to a few mock drafts now.
But this is like Bo Nix last year, who was in like the third round until like a month before, and then he starts creeping up all the way, and he ends up getting picked 12th or something.
Yeah,
I know you overpay for quarterbacks, but that was weird. And Jackson Dart looks like he's going to do the same, and it wouldn't surprise me if we took him at 21. If that's what
crazy. If you look at the
today.
rankings on that thing, how far down is it? I swear he's like 120th or something like this.
He's probably
he's there.
31.
Yeah,
he's been moving up. That's what I mean. But a couple of weeks ago, he was like in the 60s.
Yeah.
So I think you're going to go for Nurse Gladys Emmanuel's daughter, son.
This is one of your topical references, is it? Fucking
I think you're going to go for Jihadi Barron corner.
Do you?
Texas, yeah.
Defensive player. That was a shocker.
Edgy, you got the Chargers.
Edgy.
Oh, shit.
Chargers.
What do they need? DT Titan. What's OC? Offensive coordinator?
Yeah.
Not draft one of them, can you? Right, we're going for.
You can in this draft. But you're not touching Cliff Kingsbury.
Right.
You're welcome to Arthur Smith.
Yeah.
Going with Amika Egbuka.
Nice.
Scores well at Scrabble.
Yeah.
He's a slot receiver.
He's a jack of all trades. Him.
I'd be in favour of the Chargers getting more offensive weapons. I think that's what they want. Their defense has been improving. So who's got the Packers? I have. Packers are mind-numbingly dull in the draft, aren't they?
They really are. I think they're a boring team. They're like the new Pittsburgh Steelers.
They are very boring in the draft, yeah. I'm guessing they'll take someone fairly competent who will have a good career, but not a great career.
The Packers way.
Yeah, this one, you just close your eyes and throw something on a draft board.
It wouldn't surprise if they went for someone like Walton Nolan here.
What, over Scorton and Pierce?
Maybe. I don't know what the Packers are completely lost on me. I'm not quite sure what they are trying to do.
I hate Scorton.
Just get someone competent in every position. Like they're not allowed to be bad or too good.
Vikings, that's Edgy.
Edgy Vikings.
Right. Is there a player called Kenneth Grant?
No.
I think there is, but it doesn't necessarily mean he's in the draft. Kenneth Grant, DT.
Right, only because somebody on Twitter who was a Vikings fan said that would be a good fit. So I'm going to go with the man on Twitter, Kenneth Grant.
Oh, it's not Billy Bob Welbeck, well tart.
It is actually, yeah.
At the moment, He is currently estimated to go in the second round of the draft.
It's a bold move. It's a bold move.
It's a bold move. So we thought Jackson Dart had fucking shot up, but
Kenneth Grant.
They
didn't even
Boring
know.
name as well.
They didn't even know they needed a DT until Edgy spotted
Exactly. Look, I've done my analysis.
Is this guy on Twitter called @KennethGrant?
Look at number 36. A shaven revel.
Nice.
Well, there you go. This is what we're here for.
Well,
Kenneth Grant.
I don't actually mind it. Like, these players are all like basically the same. You can just
I know, but they could pick him up a round later. That's what I mean.
Kenneth Grant.
Daz Texans.
Yeah,
Have I got any more left? Yes.
Not in this round, I don't think. Oh, you're Brams, aren't you?
Yeah.
After me. So this is going to be again another offensive lineman. So it's going to be either Booker, Simmons, Zabel, Gray Zabel. That's a great name, Gray Zabel. Is it Zabel Zabel? Callum?
I think it's Zabel.
I'll let you do it because you'll pronounce it wrong anyway.
I'm going to say they will go for the best player, Tyler Booker.
Tyler Booker to the Texans. Edgy, Rams.
Edgy for the Rams.
Okay, so we are moving off Twitter and we're going to the turfshowtimes.com.
Oh, nice.
And they are saying...
I thought they just did weather, but they must be expanding.
So one of two. So one is Jackson Dart, so is he the quarterback?
Oh, interesting.
Hang on.
The Rams need Jackson Dart.
That's what they're saying.
Okay.
And the other one is called Blaine.
They've literally just signed Jimmy G on a 2-year deal to play backup quarterback. But
hang on, when was this published? This was only published yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Blaine Grissack, is he there?
Oh yeah, he's a great. Yeah.
Who are these people just playing Scrabble with the names?
I've never heard of it. I'm not playing
Blaine.
Isn't it Blaine? Blaine.
Yeah, Blaine. Yeah.
Grissack. Grissack.
Yeah, Blaine Grissack.
Hang on a second.
Isn't that a search function?
They don't need that.
It can't be this far down.
I've never heard of even who this guy is, to be honest.
I'm sure this is not just the reporters.
To be honest, most of my mock drafts, I only tend to do the first 3 rounds. So this guy.
Oh, hang on. I think Blaine Grissack was the journalist.
Yeah.
Right, James Pierce Jr., is he in there?
James Pierce Jr., right, he's an edge rusher.
Sorry, yeah. Blaine Grissack, he's the journalist.
He's another one who should be higher, but he has...
But you say that, he's now been drafted by the Rams.
Right, okay. Well, the two that they've gone for is either James Pierce Jr. or Jackson Dart. So
I think James Pierce Jr. makes more
sense.
Yeah.
Let's go with JPJ.
He's another one with character concerns again, but he should be fine here, I think.
Boring name as well, so happy with that.
Ravens.
Me, okay. I would... There's not much left right now. I'd probably just go Josh Simmons and kick him inside. Or you could go Grazer, but I'd probably kick Josh Simmons inside to guard. I think he'll be good. Okay,
the Lions. Trying to think what the need they have. I suppose they could go edge and see, because it depends how Hutchinson comes back, doesn't it? So I think I'm going to take Scourton. And Callum gets Washington.
Oh my! Well, I think my other edge. I think if you scroll down a little bit, is Donovan Ezeroku still there? Yeah, I've got Donovan Ezeroku. He'll probably come in and just be a third down edge, but I'll take that because we need anything at the moment.
Okay, and I've got the Bills. They're in quite a good position, aren't they? The Bills.
Of course, top class
defensive cover.
Yeah. Would they need another receiver? They seem. We said last year they were quite light on receiving, and Mari Cooper's been released. They've probably got a gap there. So I want to go for Luther Burden III.
Lovely.
I think he would be quite good in this team. He's basically Deebo Samuel.
He's not a patch on Luther Burden II, but you know.
And Cal, you got the last two. You got the Chiefs and the Eagles.
I would go for. Would either be the Zabel or one of the safeties. I'd probably just go Zabel.
Would you not have gone for Williams?
For who?
Tyler Williams, no.
No, he's not the greatest, I don't think.
Like a
Yeah, we wanted
typo.
safeties. I go Zabel, I think.
Zabel. Gareth Milrow, 35. He's the other one who's been shooting up this
Yeah.
this draft.
Literally.
And then I think Eagles just got best available. I think they got Starks.
Yeah.
And that's what they do.
Yeah.
And it always comes off for them as well.
It wouldn't surprise me if Eagles trade their pick away. They don't really need it. There'll be other teams who want to go back into the first round, even at 32.
Yeah, I think what will happen with the Eagles, they know the roster. They'll know who's out of contract next season, at season after, and they'll look at people to replace these players going out.
Yeah. All right, so that's an interesting first round.
Thanks, Edgy.
Right, you're welcome.
I reckon the first three there, we could actually see that as the first three.
Yeah.
I'd be very surprised if Mason Graham goes at 4, and then after that,
Just imagine if he does go
possible
at 4,
carnage.
that'd be brilliant.
You know it.
I do like most of the picks, to be fair.
Thanks, Carl.
Yeah.
Most of the other ones. All right, okay. So what I should do, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to get a screenshot of that.
qbscpod@gmail.com